Grand Rising Soul Family. Hope you guys are all doing great today. Hope you guys are coming out here and getting some of that oxygen, some of the good prana that we have. Mercy through our energy field. But I want to start off by saying that this is not sponsorship and whatever. Not supporting this whatsoever. I just didn't feel like taking off the shirt. Now that we're past that, I'd like to talk to you guys today about uh, life and death, heaven and hell. I recently had a conversation with an old friend, and it's quite interesting. And I was like, this is a great topic that I was going to cover eventually, but I think hey, it's interesting doing now. Start off with I guess life and death. I think not only I think, but we as people that live in North America, we've strayed so far from not only Native American culture, but just the way of life and just like the natural state of the world. Like a lot of people are frankly said they don't know have much knowledge of death or even just this life. Death. To a lot of people is fearsome or they're afraid of what may happen afterwards because they don't know what happens afterwards because they have very little sources to it, and from what is projected in like these TVs and movie shows sometimes is that it's often two to three places that you can go, which in a sense, but it's much more complex than that. It's based off of your own inner frequency, and I don't think people really understand that concept fully well. I feel like people believe that like it's based off of how many good deeds you do or how many bad deeds you have done, sins committed, or like people you helped out. That's not like necessarily like accurate. It's way more in depth than that. Literally across the world, they really in different religions and cultures and people talking about similar things like that. It's not quite like that at all. Quite frankly, it's more so based off of like you know it's more so based off of the energy within inside of you, and ultimately, like even if you do, completely still be, die, consumed with ego, you get a restart anyway. It's like you get a second chance. But my point is, what I was saying is like, it's so much more in depth than just maybe the commercial television way of believing that if you follow a set of rules, you'll go to a place in the clouds, or if you don't follow the rules, you'll burn in hell. I personally, from my experience, that's not been the case. I at some points in my life, I have experienced hell. I have experienced literally hell on earth. I have experienced where literally this is hell. This is. I'll get to this, but this is a part of heaven actually. A place where fruit grows naturally for you to eat. Oxygen is rich, and plant life and life around you is in harmony. That's a beautiful thing to have. That's heaven. And the further, and this is just a trail walk. So this is nothing compared to the true beauty of life, just outside of wherever. I live near the city, but this is like nothing compared to what truly is. That's another thing I was getting to. Like life is immense and so vast. There's so much outside of these cities, outside of these resorts, outside of like the places they try to keep you onto on the certain grid. There's so many mysteries to the ocean. There's so many mysteries to just a forest. There's so much out there that isn't necessarily like discussed, or better yet, not necessarily portrayed, or better yet, people just aren't necessarily informed about. So it's easy to look at life as just a simple, in such a simple light where you only live within certain parameters and you only see with certain visuals. But no, there's so many things out in this life that it truly amazes me continuously every single day, and will continue to amaze me. And not only that, I'm sure it would amaze you guys if you had the presented opportunity to see that, which you do have the opportunity. But a lot of us were conditioned and assimilated into believing that we can't come out even out here, or we can't even we can't camp, and certain things would happen. It's like so many things I have heard about, just like being able to go out camping. You might get bit by a snake. Like my ancestors were literally, our ancestors were literally warriors, like top of the line, and we're able to adapt and survive in almost every condition on this planet, and have persevered through almost every condition on this planet. Yet people are scared to go on a nature walk because of a damn snake. But that's my point. But what I'm getting at is that there's so much beauty to Earth, Gaia, whatever you wish to call her, and I believe that heaven and hell is a matter of perception. For me, hell was living in a concrete jungle where you have to literally pay for something that grows on a fucking tree. For me, hell was, the fact that society was literally clearly reversed, that the architecture, in these cities point to Roman, Greek, life, that, and not only that, it was like, it was inescapable. It was like, for me at a point in time, I didn't see a way out of that. That was hell to me, because it's a false illusion. It's a facade. We're the only species on this planet that literally has to pay to live here. And not only that, we're just like, it's like they try to make it seem like it's civilized, but it's not. It's actually it's quite uncivilized. Like literally most of the shit that they either indoctrinate us into, or they pretty much like they literally commit crimes and then post and make movies and like these documentaries, and like even in real you can literally read articles and just news articles about the shit that they do, and it's like you're you're committing the same uncivilized crimes that that you've assimilated a whole people into believing it's wrong. That's that's there's a word for that, and that's pretty fucking out of pocket. That's pretty wild. But that aside, what I'm getting at is that that was hell because it's not real. And not only that, it's like this world is so immense, it's so beautiful that there's so many things that can be perceived as amazing that we just limit ourselves from seeing the true heaven on earth. There are some amazing fruits out there that can do amazing things for your body. There are amazing herbs out there that can elevate your soul. There are so many things out there that can truly tap into your raw potential, but we've been limited in believing a lie that we were just beings merely to work, reproduce, and start the whole fucking cycle over again, and maybe get a couple vacations out the year. That's not life. That never really sat well with me. That's probably why I had a lot of problems in my life, because I knew this was all a fucking bullshit as lie for a long time. Probably like literally since I was like 13. I could literally, I would literally just look at the faces around the people around me and knew that this was. There's, I would hear stories about like work and just like I would just like this isn't life. This is shit that's making you depressed. This doesn't sound like at all that it leads to an end goal of being happy. It's just survival. If you look at today's times, it's survival. They only pay us enough to fucking survive, just enough to put shelter over your head. So the little means of survivor, survival, and you know, people may say I'm extreme, but we're going as far as saying it's a part of it's damn near slavery. But what did fucking slaves work for? Food, shelter, and just the basic fucking needs of life. What exactly are is a society that's making the bare fucking minimum? What exactly? Even in these corporate jobs, they're not making enough to necessarily really truly live. They're only making enough to maintain. What is that? What exactly what exactly is different from then, where the masses of people were literally convinced that they had to live this lifestyle, and now where the masses of people believe that they have to live this lifestyle. At least now, like it's this is a different time. At least within the past pandemic and a couple years, a lot of people have decided fuck this shit. They're going to start off with business. Salute. I love y'all. I'm glad we needed that because a lot of people are really getting into that worker mentality. But that's kind of strange. What I'm saying. The point is, what I was saying is like that was hell for me. That was hell for like a lot of people I knew because it's a facade. Now, if you understand how powerful the mind truly is to perceive life based off of the knowledge and application of the observer of each individual person, then you would realize that you know you can essentially create heaven and hell wherever you wish on this earth. If you decide that you can't pull yourself, you can't crawl outside of that crawl out of that hole, and you decide to let the circumstances destroy you, and decide that this is it, the matrix is it, that's hell. You're living in hell. And that's I wanted to talk about this because I've been talking to like a lot of people, like my coworkers, even like they have this cynical mindset, and I've been there myself, where they like it's like jokes, but every good joke has some truth in it, and it's like they're pretty much joking about how they don't want to be here, like how like life is just shitty, and like it's just like if they get taken out today, so fucking well. And hell, I have for certainly been there, but now that I'm at a better place in my life, I can say, I can honestly say that it is all a matter of perception. The mind is truly powerful to be able to really create reality based off of thoughts. So if you're thinking that life is shitty and there's no way to get out of it, then yes, you are living hell. But if you are thinking that life, the society, and the wrongdoers, and these organizations, these rich, these like if you watch the previous video, these people that order the chemical trail strikes, if you are aware that that's not life, that is just a piece, a very small, insignificant piece, actually. I'm not very, insignificant. I think, ultimately leads up to ego and understanding ego for certain. But once you overstand, and overcome ego, it's nothing to create heaven on earth. It's nothing to come out here and be in tune with nature. It's nothing to come out here and combine, your energy with your natural environment. What we are from earth. This is from earth. This is physical flesh, and I'm just a spirit inside of it. So it resonates with the environment around me. It's nothing to understand that, and or better yet, act on that once you understand that. And that's always the aim. That's always the goal, to get you guys to understand that. But I thought it was interesting because we ended up just talking on pretty much just telling her like this about like just like how to best aware like become aware of that true potential within inside of you like truly if you read these texts in the way that they were meant to be read, if you truly understand that we are not these mere beings that they push off that we are something far, even beyond, as much as I can truly explain in words, that we are far greater than that, then you will understand just like how in depth uh, creation truly is, how in depth just this moment, uh, the route does have promise and rewards for certain, but just on the journey, you start to realize different things about yourself, or start to realize what was actually meant when they were saying about how when we were saying that this is the experience of God in the physical flesh. God is in the physical flesh. We are literally these eternal beings experiencing life on earth. Like there's so many receptors all over the body to experience pain and pleasure because that's what we wanted to experience. This is a fascinating experience to have. This is what we wanted. We didn't want necessarily. We signed up for the part of suffering to understand that life isn't ultimately suffering, but there's so much that life is so in depth. Like it's so much to our capabilities to what we are able to truly feel that we might not have necessarily felt in a different dimension, in a different form of ourselves, you know. And I thought it was like interesting. Like sometimes I use different analogies, but sometimes I say, I'll use the tree one since I'm around the tree. But we're really not that different from a root or a branch to a tree. We're still that tree. Even if that branch falls off, we're still a part of that tree. It's still going to go down onto the earth and still end up going through the cycle of being, what you call nutrition for, the soil. You're still a part. You're still a part of this eternal consciousness. You're just experiencing life in a different part. That's all. It's no different than a river that started from an ocean. At the end of the day, it evaporates and comes back to the ocean anyway. It's just at some point in time, you made your way away from that eternal essence, that eternally deep ocean, but you are still very well a part of the ocean. You are the ocean. You are the river. Don't you forget it. So once you come to understand that, it widens your eyes just to how many possibilities, capabilities that you have with inside of yourself. You start to learn stuff about yourself. It's not only about what I can tell you, but you start to literally feel what great immense power you have with inside of yourself. You um, start to be able to create, just like you just it just flows. Just naturally flows. Like whatever happiness means to you guys. I can tell you guys what happiness means to me. I can show you guys what happiness is to me. But ultimately, you guys all have your individual. We all have individual happiness. We all have our individual likes and dislikes and whatnot. Like I said, I disliked a construct, a systematic way of life that wasn't promising for practically all life, but specifically, my community, specifically, Northern Americans, specifically Native people have been getting the shitty end of the stick, and I can't deny it. I cannot, not only the shitty end of the stick, but, they just completely been stripped away from everything. Their whole, way of life, You know, they're practically we are practically uh, the stolen, brainwashed kids of our old tribes. Like it's I'll be real with you, ladies and gentlemen. It's bad. So it's like I cannot deny that. And once I'm not only it's not only for just natives too. Like all Aboriginals of each continent all have their different stories, and this is just merely the depiction of this one. Once you wake up to the fact that, oh my gosh, we really are these lost um, lost kids in a sense, and we were pretty much been strayed and assimilated from everything that we know. It kind of makes it starts to form that question. Well, what is out there? What is life then? What is not only the original way, but what is the present way? What is outside of these walls? What is outside of these tar streets? What is outside of this pollution in the sky? Some people feel like this is everywhere. That's not true. I can for certainly tell you that is not true. And not only from what I can tell you, zoom out. You guys, we all the thing about technology, it can serve you if you let it. So I want you, if you believe that this is all just that there's no hope, that you're just in a endless maze. That is not true. I want you to go to your Google Maps. That's what I used to use, or whatever app that you have that offers you GPS. Zoom out, and you will literally see that this is just a piece of Monopoly. Like literally, it looks like, I'll call it what it is. It literally looks like a fucking Monopoly board. It's a design little part on the map on a big fucking continent. This continent is fucking huge. There's so many beautiful things out there, and not only that, but that even that map and plenty maps and plenty of historians, plenty of scholars and so forth like that, and even you'll naturally begin to resonate with the fact that those maps are fake. They're not real. Yeah, like the continents aren't. They're not accurate to size. Certain places aren't exactly where they're supposed to be. It's just so much deceit, deceit, deceit. So much deceit. So do yourself a favor and start asking questions. Start um, realizing that a lot of this stuff, almost everything in the society, almost everything from the moment that you were taken from your mother in that hospital room to be injected with poisons that your mother nor your father knew about. They just knew that you were being taken away from them. Question every single moment past that, because truly, I'll tell you, it's a lot of deceit. It's a lot of lies. It's a lot of bullshit. Everything is based off of fear. That's why look at the music industry. It's promoted off of literally just all egotistical means of temporarily like getting by, temporarily like living a facade life to like pretty much inherently revert from death, revert from that thing that people are in fear of, death, which is not truly it's not really fearful when you think about it. When you understand that it's a transition, more like a level, more like climbing up to another level. It's a part of this did end, but you knew that this was going to happen, and once you begin to understand it, once you begin to see it, begin to see that it's merely an avenue. It's deciding to walk on a new path. And I mean, sometimes we don't necessarily get to decide, but ultimately our spirit decides when we are ready, when we have learned enough. And it's always best to be conscious. And once you realize, and like me as a Pisces man, I'm completely aware that one day I will die, and I'm not only ready for that, but I'm not fearful of that. I believe that at some point I did die. I did transcend to a new state of consciousness. I'm still within this physical body to be this bridge to help you guys. But that's merely it. I'm not afraid of death whatsoever. I literally, I just simply believe that it's merely another piece to unbox the biggest mystery of a puzzle that's it's so delighting. It's this world is fascinates me so much that what is truly death. When I've literally read stories, I literally read so much. I've even had my own spiritual experiences being stripped away from the body, and it's this is flesh. This is, so here we are literally where this is energy traveling through these veins. It's like this is. I don't know how to better get you guys to feel what I feel, but it's no really real fear of death. And the whole heaven and hell thing, like I said, is a concept of your mind. The mind is truly powerful. We perceive reality based off of our thoughts. If you think negative, negative things will happen. If you think positive, positive things will happen. If you wish to create, your mind will put challenges to strengthen your creation skills. If you wish to do anything in this life, your mind is practically the engine to that. So take care of your mind, take care of your body, take care of yourself, and I'll continue to spread my knowledge and continue to be an avenue for you guys to continue to be a bridge. And if there's any comments, concerns, like this was big, and it could literally go on forever, but I noticed that it's getting to 26, and like I try to keep them a good duration so you guys are more what do you call it, gives you more incentive to watch a full video. I could go on for so long. I love this is my passion. I could go on for so long, but I want you guys to truly be able to break this down and understand like what exactly not only that I'm getting at, but ultimately what it is. Like this is it's just another perception of the ultimate awareness that I'm trying to get across. There's nothing to fear in this life. And once you get over that fear, once you understand and accept unconditional love, there's so many possibilities to what you are capable of and what you can experience. It's I can't even explain in words how immensely beautiful everything truly can be if you allow it to be. Decalcification of the pineal gland, awareness of the spirit, awareness of the breath. Tune in. Elevate. I dare you guys to research about the new earth. I dare you guys to research about Kundalini energy. I dare you guys to try to be a better man, try to be a better woman. I dare you guys to understand divine femininity. I dare you guys to understand divine masculinity. I dare you guys to help me be a part of a society where we understand each other, understand how we feel, our thoughts, emotions, where kids can feel comfortable to express themselves. I dare you guys to help me be a part of something great. Peace and wellness, peace and abundance. It's raining now, and washing away the old to bring in the new. Peace and wellness, soul family.